was just talking to Paris Clark,
Oh.
wondering what has she added to the program since joining you guys, and where has she developed her game the most since joining you guys?
Yeah, I mean, she's another guard that can get downhill, play with pace and transition, a defender. She's just working her way in and understanding the system, understanding where her spots are, things like that. But I think she's getting better. She was playing great in preseason, and she hurt her ankle pretty bad in our Georgetown scrimmage, I believe it was. And so she was out for like the first month, and that kind of threw her out of rhythm. But now she's starting to come back into her own.
I was going to say, she had 19 against LSU. She said that kind of helped her confidence a bit. Have you seen that spark in confidence?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, before she hurt her ankle, she was like playing phenomenal. And then that just took her out of rhythm, and I think she's just trying to find her way back right now. But she's had some great moments for us, and we've just been talking about her being aggressive and competitive and just being consistent, because she really is a three-level scorer, and she can wreak havoc on the defensive end.
Had another chance against a very high-quality opponent in NC State. And looking back at that game, what did you learn about your team in that game? What did you like? Where did you think that they came up short?
Yeah, I mean, obviously NC State, that's a great team, number 3 in the country right now, and I thought we competed for the majority of that game. The first half was really good for us, went into halftime up, but then that third quarter was what killed us. We really couldn't stop the bleeding in that third quarter, and that was the difference in the game. So I think once we put together a 40-minute game, we're going to see, our team continue to evolve. So it gave us some confidence that we know we can play with those teams, and we just got to fix a few things here and there. But when we watched the film and our players saw, wow, I could have done this better, or we could have done this better, or whatever, it gives you confidence that we're on our way.
And then looking ahead here to Georgia Tech, what do they do well? What is it going to take to kind of come back with a win from, in Atlanta?
Yeah, well, first of all, every team in our conference is going to be a dogfight. I think our conference, actually, I know our conference is the best in the country. We got so many ranked teams, but even the ones that aren't ranked are really good. So Georgia Tech is no different. They're physical. They're a defensive team. They lock in on their scouting report, try to take away what you do well and force you into your deficiencies, kind of like how we scout as well. But they're led, obviously, their point guard, Morgan. She really gets them going. She's a downhill player, but she can facilitate too. And then Dunn and Blackshire, both of those are really, really aggressive kids, and they can score. And they're physical on defense. And they added a freshman from overseas. Number 23. I can't pronounce her name that well. I think it's Augustina. But they call her Russ, I believe. And she is a phenomenal scorer. I mean, she is a sniper out there. So they've added some of that from the perimeter. So they got a lot to what they do, So we have to really lock in on the game plan. We got to be physical as well. We got to play with pace. We got to play for 40 minutes.
This is your first time going on the road in the ACC this year. What does it take in order to win on the road in this league, and just in true road games in general, just to kind of deliver the same performance no matter where you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, you got to go in, first of all, with the mentality that you're down 10 to 15 on the road. You're going to somebody else's gym. Excuse me. You're going to somebody else's gym, and they're somewhere where they're familiar playing. You're not. They're in rhythm there, and this is the first time we're going down there. So we got to go in there with a mentality like our backs are against the wall. And then also, it doesn't matter who you're playing. I just want to see us really be consistent in our preparation and our attention to detail, no matter who we're playing, no matter if it's NC State or if it's somebody else. Because, again, anybody in this conference can knock you off, and we can knock off anybody in this conference. I truly believe that. So when we put together a 40-minute game, which I hope we do tomorrow, I think we're going to see a difference in our team.
As you get into the thick of your conference schedule here, is the team coming together as you'd like it to when you put together all the transfers, newcomers, returners this offseason? Is it starting to come together how you imagined it looking, or is it still a work in progress?
It's definitely a work in progress. I think it's coming together. That excuse me, that Wofford loss was obviously one. You never want to lose, but I think it's one that actually helped us grow in so many ways. Our togetherness, for one, on the court, camaraderie, things like that, chemistry. So everything is evolving, but it's going to be a process. Like I say, progress is a process. We're not going to be playing our best basketball right now in January, but come March, we better be. So we just got to keep taking steps in the right direction. I think each game we're learning more, and people are getting more comfortable with each other, and more comfortable in the system. But again, we just have to be consistent, be accountable, and just make sure we put together a full game. It's not going to be a perfect game, but that's not what I'm saying about 40 minutes. But we got to compete for 40 minutes. And, when other teams punch, we got to be able to punch back, just like the other night.
Is that a mental thing where you have to understand what it takes to sustain a full game, or is that an effort thing? How do you kind of look at that in pursuit of that full 40 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just coming together when you hit adverse times. I think we have a lot of competitors on our team, and sometimes when you hit those hard times, it's like, all right, well, I'm going to put the team on my back, or I'm going to put the team on my back, and everybody kind of feels that way, which is a great thing. You want people to do that, but we got to stick to the game plan. We got to stay together and just chip away one possession at a time. And if we're up, we got to learn to play with leads and make sure we sustain that. So all that stuff we're just, continuing to work on in practice, and I think once you can do it in practice outside of the lights, it makes it that much easier in games.
Coach, for Mo Johnson, she started every game for you, leads you in minutes. What have you liked from what you've seen of her play, and where does she still have room to grow?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's getting better and better. She's getting more comfortable. I think where she's grown the most is her leadership and her commanding presence. I think early in non-conference season, she was still trying to figure that out, coming in as a first year, and you got fifth years and fourth years and all these people that are older than you on the team, just kind of find your way. But now the team looks to her for leadership, which is a great thing. So she stepped into that role. I think that's where she's grown the most, and that's also given her confidence to be the type of player she wants to be. So, yes, she's been a little streaky from shooting, but that's just because she's trying to do so much. When you're a point guard, you have to organize everybody. You have to facilitate. You got to know what the defense is about to do when the opposing team is about to do when you're on defense. You got to talk. You got to get people in the right position. So there's so much, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm open, and you got to shoot your shot. So I think as she gets more comfortable with all the things that she has to think about every possession, you're going to see her offense continue to be more consistent. But kid can score. She can score at all three levels. I thought she played very aggressive against NC State. Her pace changed what we were trying to do, and put a lot of pressure on the defense. And then her defense is really good. She really locks into the scouting report. So I think she's getting better and better every game.
And same thing, same question about Olivia McGee. What have you liked from what you've seen of her in a different role coming off the bench, and where does she still have room to grow?
Yeah, excuse me, sorry about that. I think offensively is continuing to get more confident. She can score. She's got a beautiful mid-range shot. She's got a great three-point shot. She can get to the rim. She's 6'3", good handle. So, she as she gets more and more comfortable and understanding just everything, the system, style of play, scouting reports and all that, I mean, she's going to be really, really hard to guard. But defensively has always been the thing with her that she's focused on the most, just to continue to be a better defender. I think she's grown tremendously, since she's been here. But I think that's the area that she's going to improve the most. And when that comes, it's going to be a problem.
Just to follow up on Mo, have you ever had a freshman that's looked to for leadership before? How rare is that? I mean, especially you kind of mentioned that, she's in a room with older players. There's Sam and Cam. Have you ever had a freshman that's like everybody's looking to her for some leadership?
I don't know if I have, but in that position, I think it garners that kind of attention. Maybe if she was off guard doing the same thing, it wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, we're coming right to you, Mo. But because she is the one that has to be an extension of me on the floor, an extension of coaching staff on the floor, it's a natural leadership position, but she's good at it, and she's really stepped into that role. So even though it's a natural position, the point guard has to kind of be a commanding presence. It took her a second to really step into that role. So I think you got to be pretty elite, to be able to have seniors look at you for leadership and things like that. But I mean, there's times she looks at our seniors for leadership, so it kind of goes both ways. But I think that she's somebody who took a lot of pride in stepping into that role, and she's earned it.
I was going to say, does it take extra work behind the scenes for that to happen, to understand what you want out of her, not only from a basketball standpoint, but what a point guard should entail, understanding the scheme and the game plan from one night to the next? How much extra work has she had to do to
Yeah, I
take on
mean,
that?
as far as like tactical stuff or even just fundamentals, she puts in work like all our players do. I mean, as freshmen come in and they live in the gym, and Odessa, all three of them, they really, really live in the gym as freshmen, which is great. And all our players, really, we do have gym rats. But, as far as like the leadership piece and just some of the confidence and all that stuff, yeah, we definitely need to continue to work on that outside of, practice and games. And we have been. And I think, once we hit Wofford again, it was that was like kind of a turning point for us. And that was I think Mo was kind of waiting for permission to step into that role. And that's when I pushed her and kind of challenged her a little bit to just be more assertive, be more of a commanding presence, and just have the confidence to do that. And our team backed her, so it's been a good evolution process with her.
Did she say something to the team after that loss? Or somebody else say something to the team after that loss?
Well, they all said something to each other after that loss. I mean, they all met. They came up with some of their own non-negotiable team rules, things like that on their own. They came together, but there's not one thing in particular. You just see, during that time, I was just trying to create as much adversity as I could in practice to force them to come together a little bit more, and then you just see some of the voices kind of rise and the leadership kind of step up there and in huddles and things like that. So, I mean, I think we have so many different kind of leaders. We have emotional leaders, we have captains, we have, point guard leaders, we have all kinds of leaders. And so everybody just stepped up, and really they just came together.